Out of all the self-improvement books I've been reading in the past few years, I can 100% tell you that if your goal is to change on deep level, you want to become your ideal self, you want to achieve your goals as quickly as possible, then this book here is literally the best one. Out of all of them, I would literally burn them all to keep this one, 100%. And that is the reason why I've actually been using it every single day now since 3 to 4 years. I've been using it daily, and it totally changed my life. It helped me to build crazy discipline, to become more grateful, to build, good positive habits and break free from my old bad ones, to understand myself better, to get to know my goals, who I wanted to be, plan my life, get to understand what kind of people I wanted to have around, and many, many other things like getting closer to my goals and to the person I wanted to be. And yet, most people, when they first hear about this, they think to themselves that this is just a thing that just middle school girls do, right? I'm talking about journaling. You probably have already understood that. What most people think that journaling is not what it really is. Personally, I had the luck to first of all hear about it from a person I was really looking up to. And therefore, immediately I knew, like, if that guy is doing it, it means that it's something serious. And then I've seen that actually the most successful people in history, like the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, and many other people were using this tool to their advantage, the journal. That's why I've actually been using it, and that's why I've seen that it has totally changed my life, bro. It's such a powerful tool. And so in this video, I'm going to first of all share with you what it could actually get you so that you know if it's a thing that you want to be doing. Secondly, I will share with you how I structured my journal, how I've been using it. As you can see, it's nearly full, so that you have a thing you can copy. And thirdly, I will share with you the 4 simple steps you can literally follow to plan and create your own journal so that you're literally going to get its amazing benefits without having to be there, having to go on search for YouTube videos and courses, or maybe have to pay a program to understand how to create your own journal. Because to be really honest, it took me quite a while. I've watched many YouTube videos, I've tested out many things, and it took me a while to understand what did and what didn't work. So I'm going to summarize it for you in this video. Anyways, what will this journal actually get you? How do you know if it's something that you want to do, right? It's actually very simple. I can tell you what it got me to achieve, but I could literally simply tell you that it can literally help you to achieve whatever you want. This journal could literally help you achieve whatever goal you want, very simply, because it's just some blank pages, right? Like on mine, there is quite a lot written on it, but it's not like a book where it's already written and, Atomic Habits will help you, build habits and destroy bad ones. This book, the journal, you can literally make it become whatever you want. And so if you actually are going to follow the few simple steps, and I'm going to share with you later on, you're literally going to be able to craft your own journal that can literally enable you to achieve whatever goal you want. That being said, a few things that it got me to achieve was, as said, building crazy discipline through my habit tracker, and we will get to that in just a second. Building positive habits, destroying negative ones, building my environment, getting to have, high quality people around me, becoming more like the version of myself I wanted to be, building those character traits I wanted to be, building, understanding myself more, understanding my goals, who I wanted to be, and therefore improving my life, becoming way happier, becoming way, way, way more grateful, and also improving my health, learning and actually implementing the things I was using in these books. Because if you're just reading the books but don't really implement, you're just doing mental masturbation, and that won't help you. So this journal will also help you to be using and changing your life more through the other books you're going to be reading and many other things like that. So that's what the journal got me to achieve. There are really many other benefits, but I won't be wasting your time any longer with them. But what I want to show you next is how I actually have structured my own journal. And that is very important because you can literally use this as a kind of inspiration. You could literally copy my own one if you see that the section I have are interesting for your specific goals. Now, first of all, My first 2 pages contain my goal, a very, very important thing I want to remind myself of, and my strengths, the character traits I want to embody, so that I always know what I want to achieve, who I want to be, and also that every single day could literally be the last one. So every single time I open my journal, I remind myself of the fact that I want to live my life 100% full, giving all I got, because this could literally be my last day. And I've seen that reminding myself this daily, sometimes even several times a day, has really changed a lot. Now the next section is where I have my quotes, my main lessons of the years. Every single time I have one of those moments, like aha as fuck moments, I write down that lesson in this book. So for example, you have a problem, look inside. You might not understand what I mean, but it's literally one of the key points from this book here, The Mountain View. And it totally changed the way I was seeing things. Like I understood that when I see something as a problem, it's not because the thing is a problem, but because I have a problem with it. And that might sound strange for you, but if you would have been reading this book, you would understand why. And so I've written it down here because it's really powerful, at least in my opinion. There are many other quotes, lessons, and beliefs, and I won't be here wasting your time, going through them. Now, the next section of my journal is my gratitude journaling. So I basically have every single day, I write down a few things I am grateful for. And yeah, so it's kind of a bit now that I've been doing this every single day, and I become really, really, really way more grateful and a lot happier also throughout the day. The next section of the journal is my ideas, projects, and thoughts. So here I write down basically some thoughts, some things I want to write down. So for example, if I plan my week, I do that. When I plan my summer, I did that. When I want to ask myself, okay, how do I want to structure my days? How do I want to structure my workouts, my diet, whatever thing, like some things I want to really structure and think about and improve. That's when I actually get in this section here. And yeah, it's literally as simple as that. Now, the next section of the journal is about, very simply, going deep. Now, understanding myself. This is a really powerful section. You might think to yourself, like, what the fuck, what is this? But it's pretty much the most powerful section. In this section, I get to actually know myself. And that is such a powerful thing, because think about it. How can you think to be happy and live a good life if you don't even know yourself, if you don't know your goals, who you want to be, what you want to do, what kind of life you want to be living? And that is probably the thing that has helped me out the most, getting to know myself. Because most people never really know why something bothers them, why they get angry at that person because of that reason, why they think what they think, they do what they do, they feel the way they feel. And in this section, as you can see, it's kind of full. I basically am thinking about several different things and basically get to know myself. And I've seen that really improve my life quality. So just a few examples. Here I journaled why I was judging my brother for a specific thing. Here I journaled, what was I journaling here? Do I want to behave differently with different people and in different situations, or do I want to always be the same? Now that might sound like a strange question to you, but it was a thing I was thinking about. Am I willing to sacrifice my independence for a relationship? Another thing I was journaling about, many other things, I really journal about all the mental things, also the fears I have, all the thoughts I have. Every single time that something bothers me, I try to journal about it, because I really have seen that when I actually get to understand the deep down root of the problem, that's when I can solve it. Until I don't really understand why something bothers me, I won't be able to take the right actions and therefore solve the problem. So this has been probably the most powerful section of this journal so far. The next section is one where I basically summarize in 2 to 3 pages the books I read. So here, all of these books, the ones I've read and the other ones I've read, I basically have summarized them in this section, every single book, about 2 to 3 pages, with the main lessons and also the main implementable steps, so that I actually don't just do mental masturbation, reading books, not implementing them, but I actually get to implement them. Really, really powerful. Next section of the book is my habit tracking. This is the place where I probably build the most discipline in this journal. And I've actually built many positive habits. I've planned my weeks and I achieved many of my goals. I basically have written down here, I track my days. I have my weekly adventures, my monthly goals, my weekly planner, and many other things like that. So this is the section where I get to plan my next moves, basically. Next section of the journal are my daily lessons and things I want to improve. You know, at the beginning of this journal, I had the main quotes, the beliefs, the big lessons. But here I have the lessons, the things I want to be improving, like the smaller ones, the daily ones. You know, every single day I write about 2 to 3 ones. So for example, yesterday, doing several things at the same time is not productive. Take time for the people you love. Challenge your assumptions. Always try, shoot your shot. And at worst, you get what you would have gotten if you didn't try. Take everything as amazing. Those are the lessons I've written down for yesterday. Let's see the wins. I have also another section where I write down the wins. So here I know that the 14th of April, I did dips with 75 kilograms of added weight, 11 reps, for example. I have many other things I did well. For example, yesterday, supposing nothing, being positive, not giving a shit, doing my stuff and being present. Now, these things might sound like bullshit things for you, but I personally know exactly what I mean with that. And that's why I've seen it as a win, like being more like my ideal self and getting closer to my goals. Anyways, next section is my goals. Basically, I've written down for work, for health, and for play, the goals I want to be achieving. Now, as said, this kind of structure I've seen is the one that has helped me out the most until now. I will probably change it because with time I get to understand new things, I change things, I optimize things. But this is a thing that you could literally be copying. But I don't recommend you to do so because very probably if you're just starting out to journal, it's kind of like going to be a lot. You want to start small because it's way better to start small than to not start at all. And if you start straight away, with all of these subsections and sections, you're very probably not going to really be journaling because it will overwhelm you at the beginning. You have to keep in mind that I've done this for 3-4 years now. And so it was kind of like already a thing I've seen that worked really well. And so I'm doing it. But if I would have started out straight away like this, I would have probably given up. Literally very simple. So that's why I recommend you to start small. So how do you actually do and create your own journal? There are very simple steps to do that. First step, grab yourself a journal or, some pieces of paper or a book with blank pages. It doesn't have to be as big one as this one, but just find a book or a journal where you have some pages where you can write. Second thing, you want to be writing on the first page the things you want to be achieving, the things you want to improve in your life. Now, you probably have some goals in your life, maybe so for your health, some building strength or muscle, whatever. Maybe you have some business goals or some school goals or some personal goals, some behavioral goals, some relationship goals, whatever. Ask yourself what kind of things you want to be improving in your life right now. Maybe you have a goal, already what you really want to achieve in life. Might not be the case, might be the case, doesn't matter. Just write down the things that you want to be improving. Thirdly, ask yourself how this journal could actually help you to improve those things, to get there faster. How can it actually help you to get closer to those goals? Now, for example, if you wanted to become a more grateful person, you can do the gratitude journal. And if you want to be building discipline, you can do the habit tracking. If you want to break free from old bad habits, also the habit tracking, building new habits, also the habit tracking. If you want to also, implement the books you're reading, the implementation, the book summary section, all of these kind of things, you can all do them in your journal. If you want to improve your mental health, the go deep section, as I like to call it, but you don't have to name it the same, and you don't have to have my same sections. Now, here I want to give you a little gift, because maybe right now you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't really know what I want to improve, and I maybe also don't really know how this journal can help me to achieve that faster. So if that is the case, you can literally do a very simple thing. You can go in the description down below and find a link where you can basically book a totally free coaching call with me personally. So in that coaching call, I will basically help you design your own journal, understand what you want to improve, understand how the journal can help you get there, and bridge the gap between your goals and where you are right now, and actually get you there. And yeah, we will basically design your journal together, so you don't need to be going around watching many YouTube videos or trying to understand things, but you don't really know how to journal. If you're starting out, that's a thing that I personally would have loved to have, because it took me quite a while to design my journal and understand how to use it correctly. So you can just follow those 4 steps: buy a journal, understand your goals, then literally ask yourself how the journal can help you improving those goals and get you there faster. And fourthly, start journaling pretty much every single day. But if that is not the case, if you don't really know how to do that, you have the link in the description down below. Anyways, bro, 100% sure that if you actually implement what I shared with you in this video, start creating your journal, and if you don't know how to do it, as said, we can do it together. You're going to change your life. This is literally the most powerful book I've ever had in my hands my entire life. So I'm not even joking. Like, I wouldn't be telling you it if it was bullshit. I read many books, many more than you can see here. And out of all of them, the one that helped me out the most is literally this one. I could literally burn them all if I was to keep this one. If I had to choose between all the books I've read, eliminate all the knowledge from them, and just having the knowledge I have in here, I would keep this one, mainly because, first of all, in here I also have most of the knowledge of the other books I read, but also because it has helped me out in many, 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 many more ways. So I really hope this video helped you out. It only will if you actually start implementing, if you actually start taking action. But I guess that if you got here, then you are someone who takes action. At least I hope so, for you mainly. And yeah, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to not miss on my future ones. Anyways, wish you all the best, bro, and see you very soon. Ciao.